Hey everybody, it's Judy Clark here, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Middletown, Virginia, coming to you live tonight with some ideas for bringing up your embossing sort of to the next level. I hope this will go through. We've been having some issues with our internet. We are on satellite internet, and when it's very windy, sometimes we lose signal. We had no signal last night. It was like the 1980s in our house, and we actually had to sit and talk to each other. But anyway, let's hope that tonight the signal is stays up long enough for us to get this going. So this month I'm all about embossing, and I wanted to show you a couple of tricks to sort of bring your embossing level up to the next game. So the first one is we inked the embossing folder and then ran it through. So we've kind of got that distressed tile look with that little bit of color. Then here we're going to do some masking and some little ombreing with our little color range of our blues. I kind of kept everything to the blues and whites because I think sometimes that just gives you a really nice clean look. And then we're going to emboss, and we're going to then use our ink pad to add that beautiful layer of color to really make that white pop. And you can see these are very messy because you can see I have very inky fingers. So I am going to bring in some gloves later when we do some of these techniques. But to get started, I wanted to use some complementary colors. So I brought out the color wheel, from Stampin' Up! Now, I got this last year at On Stage, but you can certainly go ahead and order one for yourself. They're in the catalog. They're online. You can get this for yourself. So I wanted to use some complementary colors. So I just said, I definitely know I wanted to use boho blue. So I went and I said, okay, I've got my boho blue. I'm going to go with Misty Moonlight, Blueberry Bushel, and Night of Navy. I could have gone here and brought in the Azure Afternoon. That was a little too bright. So I kind of went over here and I just kept it to these four colors. So that's how you know that those are your complementary colors, because they're all next to each other. Or I guess more is like monochromatic is what I'm looking for. They're more monochromatic. So all of those would be monochromatic. So you can go like one to the left and one to the right, and those would be all. And I kind of went one to the left and two to the right because I wanted four colors. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take our distressed tile embossing folder, and this will work with any embossing folder. It doesn't have to be distressed tile. It could be any one you want. Okay, and we're going to open it up. And now you want to put the ink on the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo. You can see I still have a little bit of ink in here, and I'm just going to kind of take my ink pad and swipe it across the face of my embossing folder. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure I want to get it nice and inky, as they say. Get lots of good ink on there, good color. Okay, when I think I have enough, I am just going to take a piece of basic white. I've cut this to 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to put on the non-ink side. I'm going to close my folder. I'm going to close my ink. And then I'm going to bring up my Stamp Cut and Emboss. All right. And we've got our base plate, our number 1 plate. We've got our embossing folder, hinge first, and then we've got our number 4 plate. Okay, I have my initials on everything because we used these for our retreat last year and want to make sure we all got our stuff back. All right. Ooh, that's heavy. Okay, so now we've got our beautifully inked embossing folder, right? Just enough ink on that, and then you could just clean that off, rinse it off in some water, and then when we're done, we can make a card that looks like that. How pretty is that? Just using that beautiful embossed background to really just be the whole card. I've got the To the Point punch, which is currently on back order, and this was not the Hugs for Love. This is the oh my gosh, I can't think of it now. Bright Borders. bright borders, the bright border stamp set, which also matches that to the point punch. So what do you think? Let me know what you think of that. So that is our first technique. Okay. Our next technique. Now you can do this one of two ways. You can do this on plain white cardstock and then emboss it, or you can emboss it and then add the color. So I'm going to do the first way. I'm going to add my color first. And for this, I'm going to use our masking paper, which I just had. Okay. So if you haven't used our masking paper, it's a lot of fun to work with. So I'm just going, it's, what is this, 4 by 6, I think. I'm just going to kind of cut this, maybe it's 5 by 7, kind of like right in half. All right. And then I'm going to put half up here. You could put, now don't press it down really hard because you don't want it to rip the cardstock. I'm just going to give it a light press. And then I'm going to put the other one on the bottom half. If I can get it off. There we go. There we go. Now you can make it as wide or as narrow as you want. I'm going to make this one a little wider. I did it pretty narrow on my sample. I'm going to make it a little bit wider. Now I'm going to start off with our Misty Moonlight. So I'm going to take our Misty Moonlight. This is the right brush. Okay, and I'm going to just get some color on my brush, and I'm going to start it on my paper, and then I'm just going to come down here, and I'm just going to add some color right to this center part. Okay, now I can add as much or as little as I want. Make it as light or as dark as you want. All right, so that's our first color. Next, I'm going to come in with some boho blue. Now this color is going away this year. This is our 2023 to 2025 in color. So this one is going away. This is like kind of the last hurrah for this color. So if you like this color, now is the time to kind of get the cardstock and everything else because it'll be going away. All right. We got that. And I'm going to come in with some blueberry bushel. Okay. Okay, there we go. We got our blueberry bushel. And then we're going to come in with some Night of Navy. All right, and that's our 4 colors. All right, there. And I'm just going to add this color. Let me know what you think. And let me know where you're watching from. I like to know where everybody's coming in from. Did anybody get any snow today? We did not. They had been predicting, you know, like snowmageddon, and then it just kind of fell apart and it went to our south. And Virginia Beach got, oh my gosh, I don't know, like 10, 12 inches. I got a lot. And they are really not equipped to handle snow down there. All right, I just want to carefully take off your masking paper because you don't want to rip the cardstock. Okay, so you just want to just gently, you know, go slow, take your time. We're not in any rush. And we're going to take that off. Right. And I'm going to come over here. We're going to do the same on the bottom portion. But it gives you that nice, crisp, straight line. So this is going to be a little bit harder to take off this one, which I like. I like that nice, crisp, straight line. Okay. And you could, of course, do this with other colors than just a monochromatic palette. I just kind of liked the way that looked, so that's what I chose to do. Now, you can either have the waves go like horizontally or vertically. So I think I'm going to choose to do this one vertically. I did the other one horizontally, and I think I like it vertically better. So again, your choice, your creation. You can have them go whichever way you desire. Okay, again, plate 1 folder, embossing folder hinge first, and our plate number 4. And that is pretty standard for all of these 3D embossing folders. Okay, So excited. I was putting together stuff for our Creativity in Bloom, working on that. Okay, here we go. So now you've got this lovely monochromatic bar in the middle of your paper. You've got some movement there with the swirly lines, and you can put it together and just make a very simple monochromatic card. Very simple, but add that little pop of color and the texture with the embossing folder, and you've got a lovely card. Okay, now for the fun part. This is really going to be a lot of fun. So it's not messy until the end. So again, I'm going to bring in my machine. Base plate 4. I'm going to get the dotted circles, I think. Again, this one's on back order, but this is one of my favorite embossing folders. All right, I'm going to put my paper in there. I'm going to put hinge first, top plate number 4, and away we go. All right. And here he comes. Let's see. All right. I feel like my camera keeps falling. All right, there we go. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Now for the messy but fun part. Let's get this out of our way. This part where I feel like a surgeon. It's really not quite that precise, but I just don't really feel like getting any more ink all over my fingers. So I always keep some plastic, like latex gloves in my studio, because sometimes I'm like dyeing leather when I'm working with the Cricut, and you want to get all that stain on you. All right. So now you'll notice that there's the embossed side, which has they're raised up, and then the debossed side where they're kind of sunken in. We actually want our debossed side up. Okay, so we're going to take that. We're going to take our blueberry bushel. You can use really any color you want. I just happen to like the way the blueberry bushel looks with the white. And then I am just going to take it. I'm going to swipe it down. Now, this might take a couple of swipes because I need to really kind of ink this up again. But how pretty is that? And again, you can swipe it to make it as light or as dark as you want. And I'm using my silicone mat because it's easier to clean. Okay. I kind of like that. There we go. Close that up. Take off my gloves. Move my dirty silicone mat out of the way. All right. And then when you put it together on your card, there is your card with that beautiful debossed side with the blue and the white showing through. How pretty is that? So those are just 3 really simple techniques that you can do to just kind of add a little bit of interest to your embossing. So that's really it for me tonight, folks. This was a short and sweet. Between now and the end of March, I'm focused on getting ready for on stage. I have some organized swaps I'm participating in, so I have to get those done. Buffalo, hey, snows all day. Yeah, my in-laws are up in Grand Island, so we know all about the snow that you guys have been getting up there. That lake effect snow is no joke. Yes, you guys do need spring, but at least you are equipped to sort of handle it. Anyway, I am going to be working on swaps for on stage and really just getting all the presents ready for Creativity in Bloom, our in-person retreat. I had to mock up a little box for one of the presents. So I was working the other day to try to get that. And I wrote the measurements on the bottom of the box so I would remember how much I needed of the cart for the top and the bottom of the box. So I got to cut 22, make 22 of these. So I'll be working on those. I still need to do 17 swaps for my organized swap for on stage and 16 shoebox swaps for Creativity in Bloom. So that's my focus. So these next couple of live tutorials are going to be short and sweet. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. I will have a corresponding blog post up sometime this weekend. These are pretty standard layers, though. All of the embossed layers are just your standard 5 1/4 by 4. And that's really all I used. And just the standard A2 card base, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4, and then just a few scraps for the punch. So, I mean, again, really simple. Not very difficult, a little messy for sure. But this is just a nice, quick way to sort of just bring your cards up to the next level without adding a lot of stuff. I'm kind of all about sweet and simple. Anyway, that's it. Have a great night. Let's hope that spring is on its way soon, because we could all use some sunshine and warm weather. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.